Welcome back to the morning show here on Arise News. Our first guest, Alistair Soyode, is popularly known as the founder of Europe's ethnic media and satellite television, Ben TV. But today he will be wearing a different hat as the Yes Party presidential candidate and telling us why he is fit for the job of Nigeria's president in 2019. Welcome to the morning show, Ali. How are you?
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Good morning,
it's a
Ali.
pleasure
Welcome,
to be on your
and
platform.
thank you for joining us.
I haven't seen you before in this
thank you very much for having me.
Revolutionary attire. This is nice. Well, quickly, let's settle down to this conversation. Why do you want to be president of Nigeria? I thought you were doing very well in Europe with Ben TV. Why have you moved from Diaspora back home, and the first thing you really want to do is to be president?
Well, thank you very much, Doctor and Lady Presenter. As you would know, what I have been doing in Europe, as you rightly mentioned, founding the first ethnic TV station on satellite, Ben Television, over the last 2 decades, is more or less to promote my dear country, Nigeria. Back then, before the advent of all this global technology, we started the black-oriented media outfit. The main purpose, of course, then was to promote Nigeria. A lot of people feel Nigeria is a dark country. A lot of people in Europe, when they commit crime, especially if they're black people, they'll be tagged Nigerians. So for me to contribute to reducing the negative identification given to black people, and more so to Nigeria, took me into the media industry where I have no experience, no background at all, because I only study agriculture. So with that, you can see that what I have been doing is to promote Nigeria, is to create positive awareness for the dear country and the people, and by and large, to promote black people. So that's the reason why Ben Television started. And so going forward, now really is to, in the same part of promoting Nigeria, in the same part of making Nigeria a choice destination, and in the same part of promoting and developing Nigerian people, took me now to come back home as a diasporan, as you rightly mentioned, but I'm in and out of the country for the last 20 years, contributing in the best way that I can. And of course, the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria says you need to be certified, have a living school certificate, and be a Nigerian. So based on that constitutionality, I qualify to run. But apart from that, it's basically for us and each one of us that can contribute to the national development. And the only way you can do that presently is not by having a charity organization, it's not by having a civil society or non-governmental organization, but it's by being a political person and having a political platform.
Well, I mean, some people asked me when I said we were going to have this conversation with you, that Yes Party, that they've not heard of Yes Party, and that the name Yes seems unusual. I know you used to have an NGO using that name, but now it's a political party. But what is the manifesto of the Yes Party? What is Yes Party proposing to Nigerians? And what's your own vision of leadership, at that level that you are seeking?
When we listen to our elders, and so many of them are still around, they used to tell us, and they still do, that Nigeria used to be a beautiful country where things worked in the 1960s, 1970s, even after the war, that Nigeria is the choice, and many other African countries used to come to Nigeria for their education, for their health need, and the story is totally different as of today. So when I have a vision, the vision then I used to look at, and many of us in our bracket of age as of today used to think of Nigeria as a great country. So the first point of the Yes Party is basically saying, let's make Nigeria greater, because the country has been great before. The only way forward now is to make her greater. Now, the manifesto of the Yes Party is basically looking at the ingredient of what unites the country. And so many parties have their manifesto. But, Doctor, you agree with me that majority of the parties that have been elected with their manifestos still are not following what they say they're going to do in those manifestos. So for us, we took the mantle of saying the Constitution of the Federal Republic is above and the supreme. And what does the Constitution say for those who are in leadership position? What is their role, either as a governor, as a president, as a senator, as a member of the House, either at state or at the national level? What role are they supposed to play to the betterment of the Nigerian people in our communities in all aspects of life? So for us, number one, sir, is to take hold of the Constitution. And as a president, what does it say I must do? either to sign bills, present bills to the National Assembly, to make an appointment, to appoint the ambassadors, to receive ambassadors in Nigeria, to welcome other inquiries, to put the judges in place, and other type of thing. These are the roles, first and foremost, for a leader and for the president. Nothing else. So based on that, sir, I have been doing this, at least in the private sector, over the last 20 years, promoting my country, developing our initiatives, mentoring. This uniform actually is related to the mentoring thing that we've been doing in the country. Mentoring our youth, building their entrepreneurs' skills and capacity towards making our society, our community, our state, and our country much more better than it is, and than where we find ourselves. So as a leader, sir, it's not about me being a leader. I see myself as somebody working in a team with the best that we have as a nation, and then making our country the choice destination, either in terms of economy, going back in terms of education, health. People used to come to this country. That's the story. But we need to go back to that. Do we have the capacity? Yes. Do we have the tenacity? Yes. Do we have the people that can do that? The answer is absolutely yes. So before going into becoming a political party, we have been going around the grassroots to local government, especially in the northern part of the country, telling them about the choice that they have as electorate to select the best and the credible candidate in their different political party. Any political party that you are, find those candidates that are good and support them to emerge as a ticket bearer of that political party. As we continue doing that, people start asking us, the movement was called Yes Nigeria Movement. What about you? Why are you not a political party? And we said, well, our only interest is to enlighten you as the electorate. And from there, then we thought, well, actually, they're asking us as well. We don't really feel that we want to join those political parties that has brought Nigeria to where she is today. When you look at it, sir, doctor, and my co-host over there, you will agree that the situation Nigeria is at present day today was caused by either the person in platform A or B. Tomorrow they move from B to A again. So they're either trying to confuse you, but they are more or less technically the same kind of people. So we need to move away from that ideology and then present something new. And that's what gave birth to the Yes Electorate Solidarity.
Is it possible for you to break this down? Because we've had other candidates on this program who will come and say, look, I'm going to do something about taxation. I'm going to do something about health, education, specifics. Or some will say, I have a 4-point agenda. We've looked at the document by the next level document by President Buhari and the APC. We've looked at the policy document by former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and the PDP. We've spoken to Tope Fashua. We have had Obi Ezekwesili on this program. We've had Omoyele Sowore. You know, we would like to know what specific things you will do as President of Nigeria, apart from what you have said about respecting the rule of law.
Well, Doctor, the cause of other economic failure, bad educational system, is all down to that rule of law. I still want to hold that rule of law is the number one thing. When our people are suffering, it's because somebody somewhere who has been allocated budget is not doing the job. When people are suffering and people are being killed, it's because the rule of law is not followed. And I talk about the rule of law and security in the country, which are prominent, something that the man, the person, the woman who is in a leadership position should be accountable to. So let me go back into it. The rule of law is what we create when you allocate somebody a budget for them to go and build health facilities. And when they don't do it, they know the consequences of not just not doing it, but again, the life that has been lost for people who were supposed to be treated in the health facility and they're not being treated because of somebody taking away the money, the budget allocated to that. That is rule of law. You now bring that person accountable, not just for taking away the budget, but for causing unnecessary death, which we are witnessing on a daily basis. I'm not going to sit down here, sir, and make some promises that a lot of people have been making, and yet they are not completing or dealing with it. When somebody make a promise, when the rule of law is actually followed, then he knows the consequences for making promises, not delivering, and yet we know that the judiciary, under the rule of law, will now deal with that person, that woman, that man, accountable, not just for the budget, as I said, but for losing life. Our educational system, as you rightly says, is gone comatose. So there's a lot of things, but then when you read about things happening and you now value what is happening, the rule of law will be able to deal with that situation immediately. This is what we're talking about, body language. We're talking about leadership. Who can do? A lot of people can give you booklets. I don't need to write a book. You can sit down here. You're a doctor. Okay, Ali, you can tell anybody to go and write wonderful stories for you. And then you publish it.
Let me just cut you off here. I mean, this is what the Nigerian people want to hear. I mean, you just mentioned the educational system, right? I'd like to know specifically what you would do, because currently, right now, the government is struggling to fund the educational system, and ASU is on strike. What would you do differently from this administration if you become the president of Nigeria?
You have to be realistic. I have been a Nigerian, and I have represented Nigeria at the international community for almost 2 decades now. The situation is, in terms of education, what is the reason why ASU, for example, because I'm trying to hear you loud, but it's not true. I'm not picking up a lot of things that you're saying. What is the reason why they want to go on strike? Is it justified? Is it right? Are they saying that budget has been allocated and they need resources, and the resources has been given and that is not utilized? Or are they saying that resources were supposed to be given and it's not given yet on a yearly basis that has been budgeted for? So again, you have to go back to the rule of law. Why is it not done? One has to be realistic. Nigeria has enough resources not to be in the position where we are as of today. You read on it daily, some leakages, some money has been taken away, some budget has been taken away. Every day, when this thing is accountable, rule of law becomes very, very effective. For me, that is number one. Showing people that what you say is actually what you're going to do. And the rule of law will be given free, independent hand, judiciously, to deal with anybody and everybody in terms of equity. In order for us to have peace, justice must prevail. This is one of the 3 icons of the Yes Party: equity, peace, and justice. Anybody who knows somebody, even among all the so-called candidates that we have, good respect. I give them respect because they're the ones that are saying we want to lead the country. There's only about 50 who want to become president out of about 80 million potential electorate. The Yes Party, as I said, stand for yes, electorate. Who are the people that elect the people in solidarity to make Nigeria a greater country? There is no need for people to just come in and tell you something. Check their profile. Where are they coming from? What have they done in their private life or in the corporate or as government official or as elective officers?
Mr. Soyode,
my leaders told me, and they tell us that they have been president in their age at the age of 40.
Mr. Soyode, I have seen if you allow me
somebody
here.
At the age of 40 is actually old to start something.
Great. I saw your manifesto. It talked about yes. It's a lot of ease in spelling the yes. And you talked about youth, education, employment, economy, elders, and security, which is not so different from what we're seeing from the other parties. But I think that you have said over and over again that rule of law is what makes you different from others. Let me ask you this question about election funding and campaigns, because to execute elections and campaigns in Nigeria is expensive. On your website, I see you're going for crowdfunding. Tell us how you're doing with that. And does it make you disadvantaged already? Looking at the political parties, especially the major ones, do you feel disadvantaged when it comes to funding?
Well, thank you. Let's be realistic. A lot of people started their campaign a long time ago, but officially, INEC gave the approval and authoritatively for people to start campaigning from 18 November. Again, that is not fair in the sense that some people have already broken the law. And this is what I'm talking about, rule of following due process and rule of law. Now, in terms of funding, for me, when I went to Europe, born in the rural place called Katsina, went to Europe without any background in technology, yet ended up launching the first black TV station, not by a Nigerian, but by a black person in Europe, Ben Television. That is a massive journey in believing that it is possible. Something can be done. And as of today, I'm standing because we have been discussing this in private, in the bar, in pubs. What can we do to make Nigeria a greater country? A lot of us, we just talk, yet we cannot implement. Maybe either because of resources, now rightly, as you mentioned, because of money. Now, crowdfunding for me is good, but really we have not been pushing it because we're just waiting for that 18 that INEC says political parties should start campaigning. So for us, we're following due process, rule of law. So whatever it is that we can achieve, now we're saying to the Nigerian people, we're giving you the Yes Party. We're giving you the alternative. We're giving you people who have been innovative, creative, and technology-oriented. We're giving you people who respect rule of law. We're giving you people who knows what it is to be in leadership position. We're not giving you I. We're saying we. We are the servant to you. We want to build a better country. We want to make Nigeria better. I'm not trying to build a Nigeria for my children. No, I'm trying to build Nigeria for me and for all of us. So together, we can make Nigeria better. Together, we can make Nigeria greater. For those who feel totally disenfranchised in the Nigeria of today, we can make her better. And this is not about promises. This is about reality. That who are we? Where are we coming from? As you rightly mentioned, in Europe, we started the first black and media television. So that means we have some profile. We know where we're coming from. And as Nigerians, now we're contributing politically in process. Nigeria is not liking policy idea. It's the implementation. Can you find the people that will implement the thing that they are supposed to do for our country?
Let me ask you.
Can you find people who will follow rule of law? Can you find people who will provide that security? Rightly, as you mentioned, we give you the yes factor. And the yes factor is basically saying the youth, which is the first letter for the yes factor. The Y for the youth, education, economy, enterprise, employment, respect for our elders. With all these things, we believe that the expert, those with experience, should have the opportunity to work together to make Nigeria better. Not because I know you, not because you know me, but because you have the expertise. And of course, the last letter, which is the S, you may have wonderful economy, good education, good empowerment policy, jobs creation. If there's no security, which is the letter S, you cannot enjoy all this thing that you're talking about. So security is the backbone of everything that we need. So but rule of law, again, is applicable to all this thing that I'm sharing with you.
How well grounded is the Yes Party in Nigeria politically? I ask this question because I've observed that both you and Soyode, you campaign in Nigeria, but you appear to be doing even more campaigns overseas, across Europe, when there is no diaspora voting, when here is the main market. What exactly is your campaign strategy to make sure that, the Yes Party gets known? And why the emphasis on the diaspora?
Right, if I get you right, sir, you're asking the campaign strategy.
Yes.
Yes. Well, the campaign strategy, to be honest and realistic, is we have to pick the state where we have almost 80 different candidates standing from the state to the National Assembly, to the Senate, and for governorship position. We'll go there and support our candidate because this is all about forming a solidarity with the electorate, and that's why the name Yes stand out. Yes, we're working with the electorate to form a solidarity to make Nigeria greater. So we're not going to deceive ourselves. But our belief is if the youth of Nigeria really and honestly, really want a change, we are giving them the alternative. As I said, our former leaders were leaders in their 40s. We are in our 50s. And we have people in their 40s. We have walked around, we have traveled, we have been exposed globally. We can do that. And so we depend on the electorate, the youth of our country, to unite together and pick an alternative person. Anybody who is in that leadership position has the authority and the mandate and the power of the Nigerian people. It is easy saying that, but the reality is if the youth and those, even not just the youth, those electorate that have been disfranchised can look at what we are offering. As I said, look at the profile of each and every candidate out there. Who are they? Were they former politicians, new politicians, emerging leaders? We have them, all various of them. For me, as AS the bridge, which is the tag I'm using, I represent the North, I represent the South. I represent the youth, I represent the elders. I represent the man, I represent the woman because I'm a product of a man and a woman. So I'm a bridge between the North and the South. I'm a bridge between the highly educated like you, doctor, and those who are just emerging. Right? I'm a bridge between those who want highly skilled labor, those who have the ability. I only have the ability. I only have the vision. And somehow I launched that May Their outfit. So we have not just the youth, we have a variety of our people who have the opportunity or who have the talent, and they only need to be unleashed so that our country can generate income, not just from the oil and gas we're talking about, not just from agriculture, from sport and field, from the entertainment. Remember, when we become the #1 economy, it's because of the entertainment industry. I happen to be from that field as well. So I know what more we can do to create jobs for our youth, jobs for those who are looking for jobs. We have the ability. One is not sitting here, as I said, just to talk. You might be talking about the big parties, but are they really talented? Or do they pay other people to write the story for them and just come and present it to you? We are talking to you, doctor, and I'm keying on to you that the structure you're asking me, I rely on you. As much as you two now, you're becoming a politician, I rely on you to sell Nigeria to your generation. Be realistic, doctor. Will you say Nigeria is better today? As much as some other people might be blaming the other previous government, the question still is, can we be better? Can we make Nigeria greater? And the answer for me is absolutely yes. And you need to look at the candidate that are talking to you.
I asked you a question about diaspora, Nigerians in diaspora. I know that you've been going around parts of Europe to also sell your agenda to Nigerians in the diaspora. Why are the Nigerians in the diaspora important? We don't have diaspora voting. I thought I would have expected you to be going around more across Nigeria.
Well, the Nigerian in diaspora, I'm a former chairman of the Nigerian Diaspora Organization, the former global leader of the diasporan community, which have more than 10 million Nigerians outside the country that have been remitting on a yearly basis, almost the budget of Nigeria on a yearly basis. Now, if you take that away, that is a big, big minus for Nigeria. But now if you have a credible, proven leader, then that 20 billion will actually double to almost 40 billion remittances back to Nigeria. What would that do for the Nigerian people? It will increase and develop the country much more better. So for me, it's to show them that it is doable. From the diaspora, we can come home. Now at home, I journeyed through the country in 2013, 2014 to present the ideology that the diaspora must be involved in the national conference. Thank God the diaspora people were involved in the national conference. So now that you're talking about what are we doing at home, doctor, I have traveled up as much as I can. You see, the money we are spending is the money that we generate, not because we took from the national cake. The money we are spending is the money that we can spend appropriately, accountable to our people, to our small party. Our party has the easiest name, Yes. Yes. A lot of people talk about yes on a daily basis in a positive way. And that's why we say we gave you the Yes Party, so that you can easily remember what you are talking about. So we are definitely going to go around the country. We believe Nigerian people who are sincere, who really, really need a change. We don't have any money to give anybody. We do not. Take is any Nigerian that really want to change, that want to move from here to somewhere positively, yes is the answer. And we're not saying we're the best, but we're saying that we provide the alternative answer to Nigerian leadership. As long as we are looking for that move, we are here to work with people that really want that change for their country. So yes, we're going to do what we can. Yes, we're going to deliver. And yes, we have the leadership qualities.
Let me take you to something you said earlier about the parties who have brought Nigeria to where they are and you not wanting to partner with them. They say there is strength in numbers. And when it comes to politics and elections, these numbers count. Do you think that you have a better shot alone or merging? If you're not looking at the major parties, how about the other 90 parties thereabout that are in the race? Do you think that you see Yes Party merging?
Or is Yes Party a member of the coalition of United Political Parties, CUPP?
Well, sir, if you start from the CUPP signed an agreement with the PDP that they will produce a candidate from both sides. So depending on who, if they actually pick a candidate between them, the other party will have to produce the vice president, vice versa. So that is there, or maybe one of them will adopt that political party. So when you look at it, really and truly, it means like even the PDP is likely not to fill the team that they're presenting, because the COP alternative must provide another candidate. It won't be all three, the same party, the same candidate, and the same vice president. It won't happen. Unless if that agreement now, doctor, is not applicable anymore. So the COP members need to answer that. Now, in terms of other remaining 91 political parties, we are, address is number 88. We're on number 88 on the INEC list of the political parties. So that means we have something really special. But apart from that as well, the remaining 91 parties really value the integration of building a new Nigeria or a better country. And that's why they are registered. At the end of the day, for us, you have to take a step in order to reach your destination. We have taken the step. We have shown it's doable by registering a political party. We have shown it's doable by going through the process. We have shown it's doable by following due process as put down by INEC, following everything that INEC says. So you give respect to those organizations, you give respect to those political parties, that they meant well for the country. As much as we have now joined politics, there's a lot of rot, doctor. There's a lot of criminality, even from the bottom level, going up. So our difference is we are totally different from the other political parties, because as I said, you need to identify their candidate, you need to identify their leaders, check who they are, where are they coming from, what have they done for Nigeria, either privately or in public. Are they those who are looking for praise worshippers? We are not looking for praise worshippers, because as I said, we have done this for the last 20 years. And in the country, we have been training, mentoring people on as many times as we can. So we're not just sitting to make some promises. I believe that what I have contributed, not just to Nigeria, but to the black race, only God knows how much value is there. I have been privileged enough to meet global leaders because of what I'm doing. I've been privileged to meet those who really matter in the United Kingdom. So around the world and in my country, I have met almost every leader that is potentially available because of what I do. So I'm now again making another step. I'm making another journey to contribute to the national development politically. Finally, and I'm just looking for people who believe in the same angle. Finally,
we have just about a few seconds, but let me ask you this. Now, people like you who have lived abroad, you come back home, you have had a lot of experience in the diaspora. You say you want to be president of Nigeria. Now, what has been your experience so far? Do you get some people making such statements as, look, all these people coming from US, coming from Europe, they think because they've lived in Europe and the US, they can come and be president in Nigeria. What has been your experience, briefly? Do you get that sense of, criticism?
Very shocking, very shocking, very shocking. That's the only thing I can say. But thank God that personally for me, I have been involved in the process in Nigeria on a yearly basis and in and out of my country, because this is the only place I have. I have no any other place. I'm proud to say it's because of my Nigerian DNA that makes me survive where I am in the United Kingdom and in Europe. It's my DNA that is showing hardworking people, when you give them the resources and the ability, that is making me who I am today. And thank God for his mercy and grace upon my life. But then again, I would say, Ibokwenu, this is us from the East. There is no difference between us. But the reality is, a lot of people who might be hanging around you feel that you cannot do it. And the moment you try to show you there is a possibility of doing it, some people, because they believe that they can't, they begin to cast aspersion on what you're trying to achieve. There cannot be a vacuum in any leadership. So for the politicians who are standing, if you're saying they're better than you, then please stop blaming the Nigerian politician for saying they want to be elected at any cost. You are not supporting those who are there and who are valuing and providing alternative answer. So I'm looking forward to every single Nigerian that believes that there is opportunity here. Just go and vote for the Yes Party. Salamu alaikum ƴan na Najeriya. Na yi gaisuwa na gaida ku wanda ya ce wai ba mu can Hausa ya je Katsina ya je ya duba mu daga inda muka zo. Ya magana abubuwa, magana siyasa na shekara 2019 yanzu ya matso, dole ne mu san yadda ya kamata mu yi. Mu samu wanda za su kai mu inda ya kamata Najeriya ta ji daɗi. Shi ya sanya muka ba ku da Yes Party. Ƴan wen yomi, àwọn ará ilé wa, mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín. Kí ló kù? Olúwa ti fún wa ní timetable. INEC ti sọ ìjọ́ tá a máa dìbò. Èèyàn tó dá àwọn èèyàn tó lè bá wa ṣe so that kí ìjọ Nàìjíríà kó dá kí Nigeria dá fún gbogbo wa náà ni. So my doctor, if they said, well, I believe I can communicate. So I dey tell una say for market women, for people who dey for market, for people who dey for street, for our carpenters, for our laborers, every one of you, we should be all together. May we make Nigeria a better place for us. May una go vote for Yes Party. Now small party, the party no get money, but now with una thumb print, we no say may una go buy anything for our logo. Our logo now your thumb print. All you have to do, just go and thumb print. And this is the only party that say thumb print yes. May God help us. May Nigeria do better. And for our good leaders, we say, please provide that leadership that we need.
Thank you very much, Alistair Soyode. It's been a great pleasure, hosting you on the morning show, particularly ending on that polyglottal, multilingual note. Thank you.
Well, it's now time for a short break.